Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We have been discussing, providing opinions on the document drop that is available for you to review on the City of Moscow's website free of charge regarding hundreds of pages of documents that were not previously produced to the public while the case of Idaho versus Kohberger was pending. One of the most important of these documents, in my opinion, is document or sequence number 4. It was written by Corporal Snyder of the Moscow Police Department. He is one of, from what we can tell from these documents, 5 first responding officers to 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022. The others are Officer Nunez, Warner, Smith, Officer Snyder, and Sergeant Gunderson. It is believed, looking at these documents, that all arrived within minutes after the 911 call was placed at 11:58 a.m. Ryan Snyder's narrative is extremely important because he is the Moscow Police Department officer who took 182 photographs as he walked through the property. There is one and only one photograph that I think is crucially important to the case, and it would be any photograph that Officer Snyder would have taken at the crime scene showing the sheath. I have elected not to publish any of the photographs on this YouTube channel, and I'm going to continue that commitment. But with that said, I would like to point out several key facts from Officer Snyder's report. This is dated November 13th, 2022, so it was contemporaneously written. It states here at 18:59 and 30 seconds, so this would be approximately 6:59, 7 o'clock p.m. on November 13th, 2022. The narrative begins by stating that on November 13th, 2022, at about 1200 hours, that would be noon, I responded to 1122 King Road for the report of an unresponsive subject. And then it goes in to what he observed upon his arrival, that he went around the back of the property where Officer Corbin Smith was. He's one of the other first responding officers who was taking photographs of some footprints using a measuring tape in the snow. And then in the next paragraph, it states that one of the other first responders, Sergeant Gunderson, and Officer Snyder, entered the residence to continue taking photographs of the scene. He entered through the bottom floor main door on the north side and took photographs of the rooms and living areas of the residence, and the photographs were downloaded onto a CD and booked into evidence. The photos were labeled in this report with a brief description of each photograph. And the next paragraph, going into page number 2, discusses other activities that Officer Snyder was involved in, his other observations of November 13th, 2022. But for purposes of this presentation, let's go towards the bottom of page 2. I cleared the scene at about 17:49 hours. So this, it appears, it means that Officer Snyder was on scene from noon until approximately 5:49 p.m. November 13th. And then we get into the aforementioned description of the photo log. And there are, as you can see if you go through this document, 182 photographs that are accounted for. There's one that I have seen that he took in the interior of the property looking onto the kitchen area that seems to show a digital time of approximately 12:30 p.m. November 13th, 2022. So we can see how early in the day these photographs were taken. The absolutely crucial photographs, in my opinion, appear at 1:23 through 1:38. These are the photographs that were taken in Madison Mogen's room, where Kaylee and Madison were found. These 15 photographs, none of which describe a sheath on the bed, visible anywhere by Officer Snyder. In addition to Officer Snyder's photographs, his report does not state that he noted a sheath when he entered the room, nor do the reports from any of the other first responding officers. And we have recently had the benefit of an interview, it's available on YouTube, that Law and Crime Network took of the current chief of police, who stated words to the effect that it was Brett Payne, the lead detective in the case, who did not arrive per the affidavit of probable cause until sometime around 4 p.m. and that he was taken up to the third floor and accompanied throughout the house by, again, Officer Smith, again, a first responding officer. In my mind, if a sheath had been located by 4 p.m., I would have imagined this word would have at least reached Officer Smith's ear, who was on scene as one of the first arriving officers, or from someone else who would have notified Detective Payne of that critical piece of evidence. So until or unless there is a photograph or body camera footage showing that sheath visible prior to the time that Detective Payne arrived, in my opinion, this is quite a puzzling situation, how so many sworn officers could have missed it in the hours leading up to Detective Payne's apparent discovery of it, as per the current police chief. These are my opinions that I provide. If you have any opinions, any comments, any thoughts, please leave them here. And until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.